I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more. Do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, and she gon' work that right. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. Now my phone be blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she ain't nice the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might be coming at it. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it, now I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, then you know what's next stage. You been rockin' with an all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a five-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, work that mouth.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a meal, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Told him come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on babe. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
They said the early bird gon' get the worm. Feel like I'm stuck in line, waiting my turn. All of the L's I took, or lessons I learned. Success, it gotta be earned. Tell me why they sleeping on me. On me. Tell me why they sleeping on me. On me. Tell me why they sleeping on me. On me. Tell me why they sleeping on me. On me. Tell me why they. Find me in the middle of the map, right in the center. I'm a saint right now, but we all born sinners. Take a couple L's if you wanna be a winner. When I think about the beat, it's synonymous with dinner. I've been eating too long, still starving. Sowing seed like I got my own garden. And I'm talking to the king while I'm flipping through James, making sure my cardiac don't harden. Mind your manners, Midwest flow, country grammar, out the slammer, way too free. And I rep my set. Young OG, loves my drug and IOD. Prize my heel, my Achilles. Yeah, I mean that it come before the fall. Grace deserving all. My son had me there, Yahweh took it all. I spit the truth in the booth, shaking lies off for ya. My God, covered in the blood, you would think that I was fangs on Dracula. My God, flip it all around, you would think he had your life on spatula. All ops will get massacred on the day that he comes right back for us. They said the early bird gon' get the worm. Feel like I'm stuck in line, waiting my turn. All of the L's I took, or lessons I learned. Success, it gotta be earned. Tell me why they sleeping on me. On me. Tell me why they sleeping on me.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, whoo, baby, we got a lot to look at today. As guys, Bitcoin is shout out to I forgot who said it. Somebody said they were ready to run shorts after watching Tino. Well, I'm happy to tell you that your boy Frankie Candles doesn't have much hopium to bring other than maybe potential more downside. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Tino from Traders Reality. It's not surprising to see him looking for potential shorts as well, or at least that's what it sounds like he was looking for. But we got a lot to look at on today's chart, guys. We have FOMC this week, guys. I do think that we are very likely going to see a massive move come in here this week. The question is it going to be that move to the upside that we've been looking for? Or not that we've been looking for, but the massive move everybody's looking for. Or are we more likely to see the charts play out and give us a bigger drop to the downside, maybe closer to the $40,000 range? I don't know. I have a feeling that nobody's really going to like what I have to say today, but it's okay because my only job here is to bring you guys straight information and data, unemotional information, just straight facts from the charts. My job is to bring it to you as a messenger, and whether the charts play out or not is a whole nother thing. But I can't really give the hopium if I don't think it's going to pump, but we're going to take a look at some things. It's not all doom and gloom here, guys. But again, like those higher time frames do still look bearish. And with what we're looking at here, nothing's really changed, right? My overall look at this kind of upper range of consolidation up here at the top, it doesn't look good, right? And we're going to talk about why in this live stream. I just don't get scared. Don't get scared. I'm going to give you guys not hopium, but I'll give you the bullish case, the bearish case, and I'll give you guys kind of which way I'm leaning. If you can't already tell which way I'm leaning. Anyway, shout out to the Mafia. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some free crypto on Friday night's live stream. We gave a whole lot of stuff away on Friday. I actually got out of control. We just kept giving stuff away because I lost track of how many winners we needed to have. But yeah, shout out to Food is Life. Shout out to you, bro. Says, let's go. Shout out to you, man. We got Rob the Crypto Snob, Tyler Durden, Tony D, Chemistry Bro, Crypto Anon, Captain Kirk, Crypto Billy, all of our mods showing some love in the chat, guys. If you love them as much as I do, they help me out endlessly with this YouTube channel. So show them some love in the chat. We got Div X-Ray. What is going on? Says Frankie Candles. Shout out to Div X-Ray. Good to see you in here, bro. He said, you rock, man. So sick of everyone on YouTube saying, buy the dip, lol, lol. Finally, some common sense from you. Shout out to Div X-Ray. Yeah, I just want to be 100% real in this live stream, guys, because there is a lot of stuff we need to look at. And I'm not going to ever, act like I know where price is going 100% if I really don't feel super confident in it, right? And I'm just going to give you guys the information. And again, bullish case, bearish case. I'll let you know which way I'm leaning with information to back that up. Not because I feel bullish or I feel bearish, right? We're going to back that up with just straight, binary information on the chart. So shout out to Div X-Ray. Smash that like button, bro. Thank you for being here. We got, who do we got? Toaster in the chat said full package. Shout out to you, bro. We got Curtis Neal in the chat. Hodl Crypto. Carlos S. dropping those goats. Shout out to the goats. Speaking of goats, where's K Diggity? Let's see. We got, Villa Senor, what is going on? Frankie, just tell us up or down. Shout out to Villa Senor. I wish I knew. Let's see. Possible the bull run is over. Raul, we're actually going to cover that. That's kind of what I want to talk about today. Is the bull run over? Was the top $5,000 above the previous all-time high for this cycle? I don't think that's probably not necessarily what I think. That's not really what I'd be looking for. But again, we're going to look at both scenarios, and I'll kind of give you guys, we dump info shizzle. Shout out to Trey Blig. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Smash that like button. There's Kate Diggity. Said, I'm here. Shout out to Kate Diggity. Phoebe says hi, bro. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and tell us I'm almost liquidated. Shout out to Ahmed. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts, guys. I'm going to break every single thing down for you guys right now. Let's get into it. So here we are. Guys, Bitcoin's going to zero. Okay, I saw this secret pattern on the charts, and now everything's going to zero. I'm just kidding. But let's break this down. I'm going to start off on the higher time frames today, and we'll work our way down to the local price action. Is anything interesting happening here? Not really. I am in a scalp long here. I'll be honest, I don't really have super high hopes for it. Pretty small position and, tight stop if we want to get stopped out of this. I'm not really worried about it. But before we cover this, guys, I want to cover the higher time frames because we have an absolutely monumental week ahead of us right now with FOMC on Wednesday, rate cuts incoming, and the real question here, guys, is that going to be bullish or is it going to be bearish? And this is a little bit harder of a question to answer rather than just they're cutting rates, it's bullish, we're going up, or we've dumped on rate cuts before, we're definitely going down. And if you guys have been watching the live stream at any point in the past few weeks, you will know, I am not really trying to make any huge bets on whether we're going to get a huge rip to the upside or a huge move to the downside, right? Because with where we are in the cycle, with the macroeconomic situation, with the election here, we have a lot of stuff at play right now. And, it's kind of really hard to call this price action right now, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. And I say that, anytime that we are not clear on what's going to happen, I try to be as transparent as possible. There is nobody out there that knows 100% oh, man, I just lost my phone charger. But there's no one out there that knows 100% what is going to happen. And to be quite honest, I see that as a warning sign. If someone says, oh, we're definitely doing this, anyone looking up is an idiot. Anyone looking down is an idiot. Like, oh, the Bears are stupid. The Bulls are stupid. Anyone saying anything like this is that's a red flag, right? Like, nobody knows, super confidently what's going to happen, especially in this situation right now. But what I can do for you is show you the actual charts and the actual information and tell you why I am leaning a little bit more bearish. Now, it doesn't mean it's 100% going to dump, but I personally am leaning a little bit more bearish for some very specific reasons. Number one, guys, we've been in this downtrend for quite some time, right? This is, binary. It is a downtrend, right? And I know, the big question is like, oh my God, is this a bull flag, right? Are we just going to see this bull flag break out to higher prices? And, it's not impossible, right? And this is why, I am a little bit 50-50 right now. I will say, like, based off the charts, things look a little more bearish, right? We know that we have the 3-day money flow crossed over into the red. As you guys know, we were looking for this bounce to the upside. But what were we looking at it as? A bounce to the upside for a lackluster retracement to potentially put in a lower high and continue down to lower prices. This is still the longer-term thesis right now, right? This is still in the cards. Now, again, we are likely to see some crazy volatility this week, so be careful. I'm not trying to, say that we're just going to dump from here and not get little low time frame pumps or anything like that. But 3-day money flow would call for the continuation of this downtrend, right? Just simply put, money flows in the red. That indicates the longer-term trend. The red and the green dots indicate the ebbs and the flows in the market. Money flow indicates the direction of the money flow, indicates the overall trend, right? And just looking at market Cypher V on the 3-day, this is bearish. Not my opinion, just simply on the chart. Now, moving on over to the 4-day. 4-day money flow is also looking to cross over into the red. Now, as you guys know, we've been looking for that retracement for a lackluster push-up, potential lower high, and a pullback to lower prices. And you guys saw the thumbnail. Rejected. What level did we reject? We rejected the exact level that we were looking at on the live stream all last week, right? And again, I don't say this to brag. I don't say this to say, like, look at me, I'm the best. But it's just the charts, right? And I trade the charts in front of me. I don't take any kind of emotional bias, or I try to keep that out as much as I can. But we did reject almost the exact level that we were looking at, which was between $60,000 and $62,000, because we had many, many levels of confluence. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But first off, let's talk about this overall price action. We are in a downtrend. We have lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? So the idea here is the trend is your friend until the end. And with money flow coming out, with the 4-day money flow trending to the downside, although we have these green dots on the higher time frames, we have to look at this as a potential ebb or flow to the upside before breaking back down to lower prices. And again, you guys know the key level to the downside that we are looking at to potentially put the lower low in if we get this scenario to play out is simply going to be the weekly naked point of control sitting at $47,500 or $47,480. So if we are going to see the low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low to continue, that is going to be the next key level that I'm looking at, right? And this is a level we've been looking at for, dang near ever since we pumped up here, right? This is a level of support we've been watching. So, and again, for our money flow coming out, this is bearish and just the general idea of a downtrend. And I know this is a bull flag, but this does not mean that it is guaranteed. You cannot just look at a bull flag and say, hey, this is guaranteed to move up, right? Again, we have a lot of macroeconomic things at play here. We have the rate cuts. Are they going to be bullish? Are they going to be bearish? Again, it's a little bit more of a complicated answer than it is to just be like, oh, they're going to cut rates, we're going up, right? Or we always dump on rate cuts, it's going down. So again, be very careful. The volatility is likely to kick in this week. But the higher time frames are still staying down, right? And, again, I say this, I've been saying this almost every live stream. Where do we reject here? Golden pocket 786, right? For the expected lackluster retracement to the upside based off these higher time frame green dots, right? Looking for the lackluster push up for the lower high and the breaker structure to the downside. Then we look for another green dot. Money flow is still coming out. That keeps us with the bias that the trend will continue down. So what do? You can look for the longs and those bounces to the upside, but you have to look at it in the context of a potential lower high and another lower low, lower lackluster pump, lower high, lower low, breaker structure to the downside, right? This is a downtrend. Simple market structure, right? Now, after we see that, right? The same thing in this scenario. We see the green dots on these higher time frames. I'll even come over to the 3-day because the 2 and 3-day are really what we were looking at. Looking for the lackluster retracement for a lower high and a continuation down. Where is that lower high likely to come in? Very simply put, golden pocket 786 zone. And here we are once again with the green dots on the higher time frames, which was making us anticipate that move up last week, right? And what happened? Money flow's still in the red. You look for it to be a lackluster retracement to the upside for a potential lower high and a continuation down. Where does that level reject? Where is that lower high likely to come in? Very simply put, it is to be between the 786 and the golden pocket retracement, right? That is literally where we're pulling back from. Now, not only do we have the golden pocket 786, and I'll just change this to purple as that was actually, no, I think I already have this marked out in our folder here. But not only did we have the golden pocket 786 there, guys, but we also had some very, very key levels. Golden pocket 786, which is obviously right there. We also had the value area low of the macro range. This is key resistance until proven otherwise. Once we get above that 60, even $61,000 above this golden pocket, and we start flipping that value area low to support, that's where you could potentially look to come up to that 62,350 level. And then once you flip that 786, that's where I'd be looking up towards the $67,000 point of control of this macro range, right? But what happened, right? We got the harsh rejection, right? We got a pretty nice rejection right at that exact level. Now, not only did we have the golden pocket 786, the value area low, we also had our local value area high flying right through this zone as well. And again, this zone was the zone we were looking at last week, between 60,000 and 62,270, right? And not only that, but if we come on over to the daily and we pull up Lux Algo, shout out to Lux Algo, you guys can see that we had our daily smart trail coming right down into that zone as well. So something we looked at, I think, on Thursday or Friday's live stream. Typically, we were basically looking back at this rejection saying, hey, not only did that come in at a golden pocket 786 retracement, but it was also the daily smart trail, and we knew we had that daily smart trail coming down here as well, and we just barely front ran that level as well. So again, if you've tuned into the live streams, if you guys have tuned into the live streams last week, you will know these are the things that we were looking at. And, this is why I like to put all of my focus, right, or most of my focus on the charts. And again, I hate to beat the dead horse here, but the charts are bearish. Like, I am probably leaning a bit more bearish from a technical perspective than bullish, right? Just because of the downtrend. And, even if we pull up, if I hide these levels, right? Again, money flow in the higher time frames crossing into the red. And if you're new here, money flow, right, indicates the longer-term trend. When money flow crosses into the red, you're expecting that to indicate that the trend will continue down. But trends also have ups and downs, right? A downtrend has to have a move down, a lower high, a lower low, and a lower high. But these lower highs are pumps, right? Until you realize that they're lower highs. And what we do is we try to anticipate those lower highs coming in so we can take advantage of the moves back down and understand where the overall direction of the market is going to be. And ever since back here in April, right, we've been looking for those lower highs and continuations down. And what has happened, right? We've continued down. Not because we're geniuses, not because we know something no one else knows, right? Just simply because of the analysis that we do on this channel, right? And just based off of that, money flow in the red, bearish market structure, right? Like, even if we get rid of the smart trails here, you can see we could come up to something like a weekly time frame. Come on, right? You have that bearish change of character here on the higher time frames. This is generally what you're looking for, right? You have a kind of a range, right? And then you make those lower highs and lower lows, right? Continuing that downtrend, you have these breaks of structure. This is where you're looking for shorts over longs, right? You're going to be favoring the shorts over the longs. And even if we come up to some of these other time frames, like check out the 3-day, right? Change of character, break a structure to the downside. Once you get, right, especially on Lux Algo, right? If I turn on the colored candles here, the candles will change colors based off the market structure shifts, right? So bearish change of character, candlesticks turn purple. This is telling you that you're going to be likely statistically better off looking for shorts at lower highs rather than looking for price to just break out to new all-time highs here, right? And this is what we've been looking at. And you look for the change of character, look for the shorts on the lower highs, and you look for the breaks of structure to the downside. So until we see a massive bullish change of character here, there's really no reason to not favor the trend. The trend is your friend until the end. So just always remember that. Lux Algo obviously makes this easy to see here with the market structure labeling on price actions concepts. If you guys are interested, they are a sponsor of the channel. Check the link in the description down below. One of the best indicators you could possibly get. On top of anything I use on this channel, I only promote things that I actually use, and this can help you learn market structure, especially if you're a new trader. It's really nice to have this stuff labeled out for you. And if you understand basic market structure, which they can help you learn, you will know that this is a downtrend and more likely to continue down. Now, that's the bearish puzzle pieces, right? I'm going to cover the bearish puzzle pieces, but I'm also going to cover the bullish puzzle pieces, right? So again, Money flow on market cipher B crossing into the red on the higher time frames. And again, we've covered this early last week. We went over this as well. We took a look at the 3-day, the 4-day money flows crossovers into the red. These are typically pretty bearish, right? The 4-day money flow crossovers are far and few between, but they do wind up being bearish. And I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today about this. With these money flow crossovers, especially on the 4-day, you could see, right? Like we had this bear market rally in 2019, came up to about $14,000, kind of went sideways, slowly grinded to the downside, somewhat similar to what we're seeing right now. That 4-day money flow crosses over into the red, and then what happens? We get a pump to the upside, and everybody's probably calling, oh my God, the bull market's on. There's no way we could go down. I thought the bull market was over, but now we're going back up. But this money flow crossover and this trend on money flow to the downside on the 4-day was able to indicate that this was likely going to end in further downside. Now, this was obviously a black swan event, so it's not the best example. I'm not saying the money flow can predict black swan events, but when you see money coming out of the market over time like this, money flow indicates a longer-term trend, right? So you're going to expect that extra downside. And then, again, we're in a different part of the market than up here, literally at the all-time high. But, that last four-day significant 4-day money flow crossover was, on that all-time high before a massive correction. Now, this brings me to the question that everybody asks, and that is the bull market over? And I genuinely don't believe that, at least at this moment, right? I will say, I am leaning somewhat more bearish on the higher time frames. This does not mean that we can't wake up tomorrow to a local pump, right? Or that FOMC might not give us a short-term rally to the upside. But overall, in the higher time frames, like this is bearish structure. Like we just have to favor. I'm a trader, right? I'm a technical analyst. I have to favor the charts, right? I have to just go with the charts are telling me, and this is bearish. And just remember this: not that the charts play out 100% of the time, but when we were bearish on these lackluster pushes to the upside and rejections back to the downside. Nobody likes to hear that on YouTube, right? But they all wound up being correct. So just keep that in mind. And we are now, again, just rejecting that exact same level that we were looking at over the past week. So it's all playing out so far. And again, I'm not making huge bets on this. I'm not trying to guess if we're going to come down to the 40,000s. But again, those key levels to the downside, weekly naked point of control, 47,480. And, you could just go back. If you have market cipher B, go back and backtest this, right? Like 4-day money flow crossovers, even like if you look at the 3-day money flow crossover we had back here, right? This was not necessarily the start of a massive bear market, but it was the start of a nice little 22% dump, right? So, another 22% from where we are right now, or where that crossover actually wound up happening. 22% would have been like back down to about 50K. 47K is not too far from that. So again, I'm not making any super big bets on this, right? If we get the push to the downside, the TA will just have it played out. We'll be like, hey, that makes sense. We're seeing that play out in real time. But if we wind up getting a yeet to the upside into new all-time highs, there's really, in my opinion, no reason to be looking for new all-time highs right now. Unless the rate cuts wind up being like a bullish black swan and we don't instantly dump off of them. It really depends on what happens, right? And again, like the rate cuts are really hard to call because it's like if they do 50 basis points, right, it could spook the market, but like overall that would be eventually good for the market. It's very difficult to trade, right? Like especially if you're looking to trade this, it's very difficult to trade based off that because there's a million different ways that can play out. And when you start to like kind of connect all these things, it's like very hard to call this. Like I am pretty neutral, but because the TA is bearish, right? Because the market structure is bearish, because the money flow is coming out, this just looks from a chart perspective bearish in my opinion, right? So for that reason, I do lean a little bit more bearish. However, that does not mean that I am not entertaining any possibility of ever getting a pump, right? So just keep that in mind. But until this money flow flips around, until we really start breaking back into our macro range, right? Every time we pump back up here, I'll pull back up the current range real quick. Every time we pump up here, it gets faded. We talked about this on Friday, right? You get a move up, rejected the value area high, not really too alarming, right? But then we put in the lower low, we put in the lower high, right? And then every pump we've gotten has just gotten faded back to the downside. And, we're having trouble getting back over this value area low. So right now, if we want price to rip, if you want price to come back up to $67,000 or maybe even beyond, you got to get over 62,350. That's the level, right? You got to get back above this value area low. You got to flip that 786. That then invalidates the lower high coming in here based off the Fibonacci retracement from this high to this low, right? That would invalidate that kind of technical reasoning of putting in the lower high and coming lower. But again, that money flow, like you could easily pump up to 67K and potentially get the rejection. I am definitely leaning a bit more bearish from a technical perspective. I'm just going to say that right now. Doesn't mean I'm a perma bear. Doesn't mean, and here's the thing. Is the bull market over, right? I don't want anyone getting super, super scared, right? Because again, I've talked about this many times recently. If we get the pullback, right, we have support below, right? We have support in the $40,000 naked value area, sitting between 44,108 all the way down to about 40,941K, right? And then we even have some daily naked points of controls, weekly naked points of controls just underneath this zone, right? So if we get the bigger dump, this is going to be really the next major level. Now, again, if you pull up the weekly naked points of control, 47.5 is that first big level. If we come back in and we get that bigger lower low, right, that is going to be the big area of support. Again, I hate to beat the dead horse. I know I've been talking about this for a while, but we may see the resolution of this, right? Like, is it going to be the bull flag that breaks out to 100K? Like, maybe, right? That potentially. There's an argument to be made for that, right? They cut rates. We get a little bit of bullish FOMO. People jump in, and we get a breakout. But again, based off what the charts look like right now, I think that's probably slightly less likely. But again, like, take this for what it's worth. I'm very undecided here, right? It's very hard to read this. I don't care what anybody says. Like, this is not easy price action to predict. There are times where we call for a level to break and a massive move up, and typically we are right. This is not one of those moments, right? It's not one of those moments where it's like, yeah, there's the bearish case, but we're definitely, probably going up, right? That's not a case here. This is I would say I'm cautiously optimistic, right? I want price to pump just as much as the next guy, but, just looking at these charts, it has to be very cautious, right? I hope that we wake up and we get a push up here, and if we get that pump and we start flipping these levels and money flow starts coming back up, we can reassess the situation with the new information added to the charts. This is an important part of trading. If you want to read the charts, if you want to be a trader, whether that's a day trader, a swing trader, a scalper, whatever it is, you have to be willing to flip-flop your bias based off what you're looking at, right? We might be really bearish right now, but if the charts flip around and we get a pump and we start to see things change, you have to take that new information into account, right? But as it stands right now, the charts look more bearish on the higher time frames. So keep that in mind. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at. 47.5 is that key level, whether we get the dump or the pump on FOMC. That's the next level to the downside. Next level to the upside is still this purple box, which, again, we rejected perfectly, sitting between 60,000 and 62,270, right? The 62,350 is really where I should have that level up there at. 62,370, right? That's the level we got to flip in order to see 67K. If you want 67K, you got to flip the 786 at 62,350. That's where you see the POC come in my opinion. And then, if you flip that POC, you can look up towards the value area high and potentially beyond. But we have to see something happen in order to call for that. So keep that in mind. We are just simply seeing the TA we've been looking at for weeks play out here with the rejection at that golden pocket. Because you come up here, where's that next place for price to likely get the lower high? It's going to be this golden pocket. And if it's not this golden pocket, it could be this 786. Same thing we saw all the way back here. Same exact thing we saw back here. We came up, we said, hey, lower high might be likely at this golden pocket. We got a pullback, and then we got a pump. And everyone's like, oh my God, we're going to 100K. It's bullish now. And we're looking at this like, hey, not really. We have a bunch of key resistance up here. And what happened? You put the lower high in, and you came down. So keep that in mind. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. I don't want to be the bear, right? So, again, if we flip that 62,350 level, then maybe we could look up to 67K and beyond. But until that happens, until the money flow comes back up, I would be very cautious right now. And, hey, if we're going to fake out to the upside, what better thing to do it than an FOMC meeting, right? So, again, when FOMC happens, I'm probably going to be very neutral. And, again, if we break down there, this is not a bear market, in my opinion, right? Now, I'm going to show one more thing before we move on. If we come down, 47.5, definitely a key level. Then we could come down into these levels where we have a weekly naked point of control at about 40K, even down to 37. Like, this would be, like, really, like, once we start losing this 40K zone, like, that's where that's where it's not looking good, right, in my personal opinion. So we start losing 38, 37K, even, like, just start losing this 40K zone. And, again, it depends on what price looks like down there. But if we start losing this zone, that's where things start to get a little bit bearish. And let me pull up my face cam really quickly because I want to share something with you guys. Pulling up the Bitstamp chart, I do want to pull up the macro volume profile really quickly because this could be, if you're looking, here we are. If you're looking for the, the real major levels, right? Here's the thing. If we lose 50, let me see here. Actually, let me pull it up on Bybit. let's go ahead and hide the current range, hide the weekly naked points of controls, hide the 40K, and let's pull up. I'll just pull it. I'll just pull a new range here, right? So let's pull the fixed range volume profile. I'll pull it up on the weekly just to make it a little bit quicker, right? If we pull this is going to be an important zone of support, right? Because if we pull this larger volume profile, right, and I show this all the time too because we've just been going sideways for months. There's really nothing else to look at other than where we're sitting. But if you look at this, right, this is going to be, if we do wind up getting the move down to 47.5, this is going to be the most important zone of support to look at, right? Because just like we looked at this as key resistance, and we knew once we broke above this, we were likely going to open the door to 48 to 50K and potentially the $54,000 value area high. What happens? We finally break that level. We see the move up, and then we get the move to the POC. We get the rejection at the POC that we expect, and then the move up to the value area high. Just like we looked at that. If we start losing $55,000, right, if we start losing this value area high, right, and we get that rejection that we're expecting, right? The next major level of support, again, 47,480 is that naked point of control, and that buy bit POC is sitting right at 47.5. This is a very confluent level, and just like any volume profile, if you get stuck under the value area high, the next likely place for price to go is going to be that POC, which again is confluent with that weekly naked point of control. Then, if we get a move into the 40,000s, you really don't want to hang out down here, right? Really what you want to see is a quick recovery of that POC and a bigger breakout. I'm going to draw like the two like this is either going to break out the bull flag to like a all-time highs, which again, I would probably put a little less likely percentage on from a technical perspective, but again, this would not be bull market over for me. It's either, going to be the all-time highs from the bull flag breakout, or we could just see that dip down to the 40Ks. And this is really what I've been talking about for the past few weeks, right? Like, it's nothing really new. But now that we've rejected that next golden pocket 786, like, we're in danger of this happening, right? So, and I do think if we do come down there, as long as we don't lose this major support, we could then just kind of see price really brutalize everybody before finally seeing the bigger move up, right? Because even if we get a bearish reaction off of the rate cuts, we could still, more often than not, we often do see that looser monetary policy start to make those risk on assets fly, right? That's where we typically see the DXY break down, and we see things like Bitcoin and risk on assets go up. So if we don't see the bull flag break us out here, right, which again is a scenario. This is scenario A, bull flag breaks out, right? That's scenario A. Scenario B, in my opinion, would be a shot down to between 47,500, maybe wicks down into these zones here. These are the two scenarios I'm looking at. Either way, it does not make me call for a massive bear market. Now, what would make me call for a bigger bear market? Well, if you start hanging out down here and you can't get back above this POC, in my opinion, you start losing this range, the next likely place for price to go technically would be the expected value area low, which is sitting at $30,000, right? That would be a really, but at this point, right, we're seeing this. We are in a global recession, right? There's like big things happening, right? No one expected 2020 to give you this gigantic 60% dump, right? So something, in my opinion, would have to happen here for the cycle to just break. But I do think it's probably going to be more likely, again, although I am leaning a bit bearish, right, I do think that is still a possibility, even if we get the bigger move to the downside, right? And although we could eventually wind up seeing a bigger bear market come in, there's no reason to call for that just yet, right? Like, I can't call for that just yet. There's nothing really calling for a bear market right now. But if we get back down here and we get that additional information in, and we can reassess the situation at these key levels, if things are still not looking good, trust me, I will be the first person on YouTube screaming at the top of their lungs, this doesn't look good, right? So there you go. Hopefully, we can just hold all this support. Hopefully, we don't have to break back into this volume profile, and we can just see the FOMC. Maybe we wiggle around here, and we just FOMC rips us up. But again, those higher time frames are bearish, so don't count that out. And there you go, right? And hopefully these volume profiles kind of give you a little bit of peace of mind, right? Oh my God, we're losing 55K. Where are we going? The next likely place for price to go is that POC, right? And then once you start losing this range down here, that maybe the next likely place for price to go is that value area low. And if we start pulling some local fibs, right? Macro golden pocket is sitting right in this zone as well. So again, this is another reason why I wouldn't necessarily be calling for a massive bear market. Now, whether people want to call this move a bear market or not is one thing. I don't know. it's not, I guess you could call that a bear market if you wanted to. It depends on how you define a bear market. But yeah, I do think if you come down here to test that golden pocket, like this is definitely a possible scenario, right? Like, so, everybody's calling for it to be over. And then all of a sudden we just start to see that, the things open up, right? And just start to rip. And then, if we start losing that golden pocket, right? AKA that naked value area I just brought up, we start losing that. Where's the next likely place for price to go? That's where your 786 is in play there. $34,000, maybe a quick wick down to the $30,000 value area low. That's and again, I'm not calling for these levels. I want to be very clear. I'm not calling for a $30,000 Bitcoin by any means, right? I'm just letting you know the levels down below you because again, you don't have to go back as far as, just whoops. You don't have to go back very far to just look, right? Like these volume profiles play out, right? You go above the high, get back down in, back to the low. Deviate below the low. Once you break above the value area low, hold it as support. You're looking at the POC, value area high. This is technically a deviation above that value area high, right? So again, we could treat this the same. Get under the value area high, look to go to the POC, and then eventually the low. And again, I'm not calling for that. I'm just showing you the levels down below. And if you start to pull your full bear market low to the high on your golden pocket, 786 here, that 786 comes right in at the value area low. Now, again, I would not want to see this. This would not be good, right? This would be a lot of pain. I would feel that pain, right? My average entry for Bitcoin is $20,000 to $21,000. Like that would be a lot of my gains eaten up, right? So I wouldn't mind a $40,000 golden pocket to come in. I would not mind that, right? Like this, again, I think is a pretty likely scenario, right? Again, not guaranteed, but somewhat likely, right? We come down to 40K, I'm not worried. But if we started to see the larger golden pocket, the larger 786, right? We lose that 40K zone. We come down here. Like, that's bad, right? Like, that does not feel good. I guess you probably could consider that a bear market, right? Because that's from all-time high down there. That's like a 61% dump. I mean, that's like Black Swan scenario, right? If we get a Black Swan, guys, like that's 63%. You start to measure all this stuff out, right? 63% from the all-time high. I mean, or at least this, 63% brings you right to that 786. This is the same exact thing that we saw. This is the same exact thing that we saw in 2020. Right? And again, I'm not saying it has to play out exactly like that, but you pull from the bear market low all the way to the high. The big difference here, this is really hard to call because we saw a new all-time high before the halving. This is something we did not have back here, right? So it is different, right? So it's hard to call, but just to show this, from the low to the high before we really went off into, sure, we have a new all-time high, right? This is a new all-time high. I get it, right? I get it. It's different. We have an all-time high before that. I get it. I totally agree with you. But this is not a price discovery type of new all-time high, right? Like this is not true price discovery, face-melting bull run, right? So in my opinion, I think it's very unlikely unless we get some kind of Black Swan event, it's very unlikely that this is the top, right? So end of 2024, into 2025, I would still expect a bull market if we come down to 40K, right? But again, when we start losing that value area low, POC, that's where things start to get scary. But understand, this is, was this a bear market, right? Was this dump here in 2020 a bear market? Some people would call it a bear market. I looked at it as a 786 Fibonacci retracement, right, on a weekly chart, right? And what happens? Everybody spooks out, and this is like almost back down to the lows of the bear market to put in a slightly higher low to then rip off into higher prices. This would be somewhat similar if we saw that happen. And again, I'm not calling for this, but I'm just saying we're only going to know in hindsight. There's only one way to find out, and it's just to see things play out. Hopefully we see this stuff resolve sooner than later. But I just want to show this stuff to you. And, we get that 786 retracement from the low to the high. I mean, it would be horrible. It would be brutal. But is it like the end of Bitcoin? Is it like a full bear market? I don't know. Who knows, right? But yeah, I will say the higher time frames do look really bearish, but we do have support below, right? $47,000 is not that far away, right? I think a lot of people could probably pallet a 17% dump from here, right? We've already gotten that like from up here. 4th of July, pretty big dump, right? And then August 5th, we got that dump down to this level as well, right? So it's like not that crazy, right? So if we see that, I'm not really that worried. We start losing that POC and more importantly, $40,000. That's where we could really start to wonder, hey, what's going on here? Should we be looking much lower? But again, it's an if this, then that statement. Until we break below that value area high, maybe we don't see the move down. But there you go. That is what I'm looking at, guys. Hopefully, shout out to Darren Does Things says the 2020 dump hit the 886 perfectly. Let's see here. Woo! Woo! baby. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Let's go. But yeah, I mean, that is, not impossible. Not, again, like no one was expecting this, right? Everyone was probably expecting the bull market to continue, right? And did it continue? Yes, but it took time, right? Again, I think Tony dropped those Fed rate cuts. Yo, shout out to Crypto Portuguese says, you down with POC? You know me. Shout out to Crypto Portuguese. But yeah, let me know what you guys, the nose, shout out to Ape. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the chat. Do you think, or vote in our poll here? And I see that there is a split decision here, bullish and dump it, 49 to 51%, with the Bears winning by just a hair here. Yeah, if you have not voted on that, please vote on that. Let me know. And shout out to Amy Lives Crypto. Let's go. Shout out to you. Thank you for gifting those memberships. Let's get it. I appreciate you, Amy. Thank you for being here, and thank you for gifting those memberships. But hopefully this, guys, gives you like somewhat of an overall kind of view on what I'm expecting here and kind of the scenarios we can see play out. Again, not calling for 30K. If there's time to call for it, I will. But I just wanted to let you guys know, like, worst case scenario, like real worst case scenario, big black swan event. What can we see happen? Those are kind of the lower levels I'm looking at. But again, just looking at the 3-day, I do think, I am leaning a little bit more bearish. Like, this does not look very good, right? Unless that bull flag breaks out, but it's impossible to know that. So there you go. Let's see. Yeah, pick up some lower liquidity and blast off. I mean, that's the other thing, too. We can pull up the liquidation heat maps really quickly. Let me pull those up for you guys. I know. Let's see here. Okay, so let me take a look at this, right? Let's pull up the yeah, I mean, where is our next major area of liquidity, right? Like, I mean, right down here below 40, the wick here at about 49K has a whole lot of liquidity sitting there. And I'll be honest with you guys. Again, this is hard. I have no problem saying when things are hard to read, right? Like, I am not magic, right? I know a lot of people think I'm a wizard. Sometimes I like to think I'm a wizard. I know we're right more than we're wrong. But like when things are unclear, I have to tell you guys things are unclear. If I can't get a perfect read on the market, like I just have to come up here and tell the truth, right? Because I would rather come up here and give you guys the raw data, the raw information, and then be wrong and be like, you know what, TA never plays out 100%, rather than just like call for higher prices because that's what I think people want to hear. I'll give you one thing. Like the one thing that would make me think maybe a surprise to the upside would be the more likely situation would just be that like I feel like we've been bearish throughout this entire range between the all-time high and about 50K, right? I feel like we've been bearish all throughout here based off the market structure. But now I see a lot of other people starting to get bearish, which makes me think like, I don't know. It's hard to call, but that 3-day money flow would definitely be calling for more downside, but I would not be calling for an instant bear market. Keep that in mind. Taking a look at the heat map, liquidity sitting down here at about 47.7. Maybe we get the move down, wick down here, take this liquidity, and then we get the bigger bounce to the upside. Definitely a situation we could see play out. And we're kind of just in the middle here. We have a lot of liquidity at above 70,000 as well. And it's kind of hard to say if we're going to come up here first or down there first. Market Cipher would say down first. And that's typically what I'm going off of. It's not right 100% of the time, but it's definitely right more often than it's wrong. So hopefully that helps you guys kind of understand what I'm looking at. Let's see. That's how I feel, Frankie. Yeah, shout out to Redman. Yeah, not impossible to come scoop the liquidity. But again, I'm not making any huge bets, guys. Like, I don't care. I want to be very clear here. I am not just mega short here, right? I'm not just like giga shorting here, expecting $40,000. That is not how trading works. It's not how trading works, right? So I'm not just giga shorting up here. If we get the move down to 40K, right, 47.5, I will look for the longs, right? Maybe pick up some more on spot, depending on how things look. But if we rip up from here, right, I'm not missing out on anything. My bags are packed, right? So just keep that in mind. We're in again, I've been saying this all week last week. This, I think, is going to be one of the most important times in this cycle. I think we are going to look back at this price action very similar to how we come back here to this price action and look at it, right? Like some of the most pivotal moments in the market. Like this is the most important part, right? If you weren't paying full attention here, right, and you got spooked out here, you missed the whole bull run. And you probably bought on the way up, bought Cardano at $3 like everybody, and then they're like, why didn't Cardano do good? It's because you bought the top and probably got spooked out during this 2020 dump, right? So like just like we look back here as a pivotal moment in the market, I do think this is going to be a massive move. Again, like slightly leaning bearish, slightly, I'm kind of neutral, slightly leaning bearish. But I wouldn't be surprised if it fakes out to the upside either. It's rough out there right now, guys. I'll be honest with you. But we'll see what happens. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the chat. What is going on, brother? Don't forget to check out Crypto Goat Tales. Billy Goat Tales on X tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST. And shout out to Dave Digital. What is going on, bro? Dropping those GSPs in the chat and the bing bongs. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Priest XVT says, dang, I forgot that. Amazing POC at $3. Shout out to Prime. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on. Yo, dropping the GSPs in chat. I love that. Might be my new favorite emoji. Shout out to Flatsmack said, missing out is the most painful thing in crypto. Do not pump without me. Shout out to Flatsmack. Yeah, FOMO is the most damaging thing possible. Yeah, it's FOMO will get anybody. FOMO will get some of the most experienced traders. FOMO gets me sometimes. It's just really, you got to really push against that if you want to protect your capital. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and continue on, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at some altcoins. Drop them in the chat. Red man with the Bruce Buffer emoji. Let's go. It's time. Shout out to the UFC fans out there. I watched UFC this weekend. Little Sugar Sean. Let's see, XRP, AVAX. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum really quickly. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm going to come up over here, take a look at this ETH chart. And again, right, like what have we been looking at on Ethereum? Pretty simple stuff. Looking at our major volume profile here, we stuck the low, looking for price to wiggle its way back up to potentially start the journey up to the value area high. But what do we always say? You have to keep those intermediary levels in mind, such as this daily golden pocket retracement confluence, where we were expecting some kind of local resistance. Where are we rejecting from? Right here, given for free on the live stream. Daily golden pocket confluence, typically a pretty strong level. So again, we held the value area low. At this point, the next likely place for price to go is that POC. We came up on that POC, flipped it as support, and we knew that this local level may give us resistance. And I'll be honest with you, as of right now, as long as you remain, again, like the same kind of sentiment here, remain above this golden pocket POC monthly, right? We could still potentially expect that journey to the value area high to continue. However, I would be careful, right? Fresh daily red dot printing, 90-minute money flow crossover. Again, just so you guys know, these 90-minute money flow crossovers, not the worst thing to look at to start those bigger moves down, especially if it's in line with the daily red dot. Right? Now, I don't know how in line with I don't know if this daily red dot was printing right on that 90-minute money flow crossover. We could kind of check. But if you can get these things to line up, guys, like you might be looking at this, right? If I'm looking at Ethereum, right, and I'm looking at the daily, and I say, hey, that VWAP's about to print a red dot. Let me see what the 90-minute. First thing I'm doing is going down to that 90-minute and saying, what's that 90-minute money flow doing? Well, hey, that money flow's coming out into the red. Right? If that money flow crosses into the red on the 90-minute and that daily red dot pops up, that might be the thing to start the bigger move to the downside. And what happens, right? Do we have the daily red dot yet? Oh, God, it's so close to printing there. Go back to the 90-minute, right? Wait for it to cross over. Finally, you start to get that crossover into the red right here. Do you have the daily red dot at the same time? Oh, it's so close. It's so close. It's never going to be perfect 100% of the time. But at this point, I'd be looking at that 90-minute money flow crossover as, just about to start that move down, especially if you get the red dot. And again, right, that red dot prints, money flow starts. I mean, maybe actually even if we move this over to right where the dump started, you might have that red dot already. But yeah, you have the either way, right? 90-minute money flow with the red dot. Oftentimes, like this strategy has been slapping, right? Like those the 90-minute, the higher time frame red dots or green dots with the money flow crossovers on the lower time frames. Like we've covered this a lot on the stream. These have been slapping lately, like more than usual in my opinion. So again, like you see that big move down, 90-minute money flow crossover was the thing to start that move. But again, we hold above this blue zone. We could get a bounce, but I'll be honest. Again, daily red dot could see the continuation down, right? So if we lose that POC, next level I would look at would definitely be the 786 sitting at 2213, and then your value area low becomes the next likely place for price to go. Once you lose that POC, can't get back above it. That value area low at 2148 is going to be the next key level. Other than that, we'll see what happens. We got the rejection where we were looking for it. Let's see if we get the bounce. If not, I'd be looking down towards that value area low 786 level. And then taking a look at the everything okay with Market Cipher? There we go. So yeah, we'll see 90-minute green dot, 4 hour looking for the green dot too. Maybe we can get a little bounce there. We'll have to see. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. A shout out to Crypto Billy, said show ETH, baby. Shout out to Captain Tanner, said you're not doing the bull case. Not looking to doing the bull case for BTC. Yeah, the bull case is essentially this. Let me pull it up over here. Right, the bull case in the long term, right? Let me hide the macro volume profile. I'm actually going to label this folder. Bada boom, right? So the macro bullish case would just be that we don't break the low, right? We don't put in the lower low, right? Our hope is where is it? Yeah, our hope is, right, that this 3-day money flow just fakes back out into the green somehow. This 4-hour money flow fakes back out into the green, and we never wind up coming down and breaking this low, right? And then that would just be to never see 40K. And then in hindsight, it would be, in hindsight, it would be clear, right? It's always easy to call it in hindsight. But, if we go ahead and pull, do I have it over here? I'll just pull a fresh thing here. So, if we get that parallel channel, right? Like this was the bull flag, right? This is what everybody looks at. Everyone is super bullish. Everyone's saying bull flag. Definitely going to break out. Boom, right? That would be basically the bullish case, right? A lot of stuff would have to happen. Again, we'd have to get above that $60,400 level, and really $62,350 is really the big level to get above, right? So flip up here, come up here, and like even then, I'll be honest, like this is bearish market structure, right? Like even if you come up here, you might even sweep the liquidity and come back down, in my opinion. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's gonna be really hard. I might just fake. That might be the first time I just fake being bullish, because I don't know if anyone could take me being bearish at the highs once again. I think people are like, this guy. Hopefully they take it as like, wow, last time Frankie Candles was bearish at the high, we kept coming down. But I don't know. People don't like to hear that. And if we get, the rate cuts and we come back up here, it is not going to be popular. But I will come up here and tell you guys if I think I'm bearish. I'm just kidding. I will never come up here and fake that we're going to break out if I don't think that's the case. So if we get if it looks bearish up here, like we'll probably be the only person looking for the lower high, and we'll get the move down, hopefully. Or I'll just be wrong, which I will actually pray for being wrong, because I don't want price to come back down. But again, I have to come up here and be honest with you guys and give you what the charts are saying, not how I feel or what I think, right? Yeah. That would be the bullish case, right? But we won't really know that until after it plays out, right? Like, because, again, when you're looking for a fake out, right, especially with the way money flow looks, if we're going to expect this fake out, it's hard to front run it, right? Like right now, if we're going to front run a move, like money flow's coming down, right? So you could look for shorts at the highs to ride the move to the lower low, right? But like if we're going to look for a fake out, you just have to kind of gamble on the fact that the TA is not going to play out. So you'd have to bet against the TA and just say, I think we're going to break out here because of a shape on the chart, which isn't impossible. But again, like you can't really tell this until after it happens. Then you'll look back and be like, oh, bull flag, easy, right? But again, money flow. Like go back and back test them. 2-day, 3-day, 4-day money flows. Very rarely do you see a money flow crossover into the red and a big move up. And this might be something like what we see happen, right? In my opinion, right? Maybe you get the drop down to 40K, right? But right, you get the rate cuts, you right? So this is what the 3-day looks like right now. Money flow is already in the red, and we are grinding down, right? We're grinding down, money flows in the red. This is very similar to what we're seeing, just on a very different scale, right? We were grinding down here as money flow on the 3-day was in the red, right? And then eventually it wound up giving you the bigger drop, right? But what happened? We wound up getting another massive leg up on Bitcoin. And maybe that's something like what we see if we do see the drop down to 40K. I think it would be more likely to be something like that, right? Where we're grinding down, money flow on the 3-day is in the red, it is bearish, and we get the bigger drop down, right? Maybe the FOMC, we get a little fake out pump, right, based off the FOMO, and then eventually we get the push down, something like that. Understand, like, if they do 50 basis points, you have to understand, I know that seems like, oh, they're cutting rates, like, heavily, like, that could be good, right? It injects more liquidity into the economy, which could promote more spending and more risk on investing, but also you have to understand this oftentimes spooks the markets, right? Because it could indicate that they're like kind of rushing, like, oh God, pump it back up, right? So like if that makes sense. So Again, that's why I'm not making like huge bets on the FOMC, right? 'Cause I don't know, right? Like there's arguments to be made for it to pump us and dump us, right? Historically, it's dumped us first, but maybe that's something like what we see happen. That 3-day money flow crosses over into the red. You get a drop to the downside, very similar to back here. Grind down. Money flow it stays in the red. You finally get the drop. But then, because like what was the story here, right? The story here was the ETF, no? Right? Yeah, the ETF rumors, right? And everyone's like, you know, oh my God, like money flow's coming out, but like the ETFs are supposed to get approved, and then we just wound up the ETFs wound up being bullish, right? They were bullish. The rumors ran us up into the approval, even here, right? Like this, it might even be a little bit more comparable to this, right? Where you have some sideways price action, you take the highs, right? You have the sideways range, you get the ETF approval, you take the highs, ETFs get approved, right? And then you get the wash of the lows, right? We have the sideways range. I guess we never really, you didn't really take the highs here, at least on the Bybit chart. But, you have that move, right? And then price comes down, gives you the wash of the longs, right? And then eventually it winds up being bullish. So, similarly to how a lot of people thought that we were going to break out here on the ETF approval, it's very rarely the case, right? Almost every major pullback on Bitcoin, this was a 20% pullback, comes with bullish news. Right, you get some kind of crazy bullish news, and you get a big dump. We've gone over this many times on the show. I've even had a chart that labeled all the major news events that happened literally at every major peak. Right, I forget exactly what they are, but some of them are like the futures ETFs, like partnerships with like big partnerships with Mastercard was supposed to use something. Again, I'm a technical trader. I could find that chart. I probably still have it. But like I went out and I marked out every bullish event. Like even up here was marked with some kind of bullish event. Like almost every major top was marked off with a bullish event. Right? Maybe, so just keep that in mind. 3-day money flow gives you the big dump down. Maybe we get the big dump down, but then eventually the ETFs wind up giving us a move into the approval, right? And maybe we get the dump, and then eventually, right? We get the dump, and then eventually the rates wind up kicking in and giving us the big move up. But it's not it doesn't happen like everyone expects right on the news, if that makes sense. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens, guys. Again, very hard to call. This is not, in my opinion, the time to try to like gamble your entire, portfolio on like, again, technically, I'm a little bit more bearish on the higher time frames. I'll just say that. So there we go. Where is that chart? Shout out to Jordan. I'm not 100%. Yeah, shout out to Jordan. I don't know if you're talking about the major news events. We could actually, Tony D. Is Tony D here? I feel like I haven't seen him. Let's see. Bada boom. At Tony D. If he's in here, or maybe Dave or Crypto Billy, can somebody get me the dates of the rate cuts? Tony shared them with us recently, but that was in a last. Yeah. Oh, shout out to Rob the Crypto Stop. Thank you. You're going to give us the altcoin votes. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. More downside is 20%. I'm guessing. Shout out to Sand. I don't know if you mean 20% probability or 20% pullback. 20% from here would bring you down to about 46, 47K. So that, yeah, also maybe 20% possibility. Could be. Yeah, less than 48 hours to the rate cut announcement. Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to guess that. But yeah, the shout out to Dr. Crimson's girlfriend. 48K more likely. Yeah, in my opinion, based off the charts, I would say 48 to 47K is the more likely situation than just ripping up to new all-time highs. Because if we rip up, right, and we just wind up massively pumping and there's not some kind of like unexpected thing that happens, like a black swan, if we get a big rip and we start approaching these highs on like unexpected news, some kind of bullish black swan, then maybe we see the all-time highs get broken. But if we just rip up here on typical, like, oh my God, they cut the rates, FOMO, like this is FOMC volatility up to this level, I would be super careful of all that liquidity sitting up here, right? Does that make sense? Unless it's like, oh my God, something we didn't expect is happening, holy cow, like, and that's why we're pumping, then maybe we can go to all-time highs. But if it's just FOMC volatility that brings us up to these highs, I'd be very, very careful of grabbing that liquidity and getting a bigger dump. That's kind of what I would look for. But bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. I'm just gonna pull up my face cam here really, really quickly. Bada boom, got me the link. Thank you, my friend. Okay, so yeah, I wonder if there is a yeah, I wonder if there is a, let me just see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, 2020. Bada boom. Yeah, shout out to Tony D. Tony D. I think this is like the second live stream we caught Tony D out of the stream here. Unless I can't see his chat. Shout out to Tony D. Tony D. Tony D. Low key. Low key. It's like the second time we caught him. He thought we'd never catch him. Unbelievable. I'm just kidding, guys. Anyway, but yeah, the like the rate cuts oftentimes give big dumps down, right? The 2020, let me see if I can find this. I don't want to spend too much time looking for it. March 3rd, bada boom, bada bing. Thank you for this, Dave. Yeah, I think March 3rd was their, they cut the rates on March 3rd, right? So let's go March, right? So I'll have to come down to the daily, right? Yeah, we did this on Friday. Thank you for this, Dave. I appreciate this. So yeah, March 3rd, right? What happens on March 3rd? They cut rates, little pump, and then massive dump, right? So oftentimes we see this, right? It's not an instant rates get lowered, we get a massive pump to the upside. So that's just kind of what I would bet on, right? But again, not really making huge bets based off that. So yeah, maybe, depending on where we are, maybe we get a little pump and then a big dump. Could be. But yeah, that's the main things, right? Like, we're either going to see that bull flag just break out. This is a scenario that could be possible. But again, I do think it's a bit more likely to see something like that. Either way, I think things are pretty much right on time, right? Either way, either whether we get the big dump down or we just take off, like things are pretty much right on time. So yeah, shout out to Dave for sending me that link. I appreciate you. Shout out to Tony D. Tony D, were your ears ringing? Shout out to Tony. But let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Whale Talks at LFG, Frank. Let's go, brother. Grote says that event, I won't say it on YouTube, is not a great example. Yeah, any Black Swan event is not really a great example. Just because it's an unexpected event, right? But if we could, shout out to Dave. Happy birthday, Rob. Let's go. Pin my next comment. Happy birthday, Rob. Let's pin, I'll pin that. Shout out to Dave Digital. Happy birthday to Rob. If you have not wished Rob a happy birthday, please give it to him. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Dave. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Guys, is Tony D mad at us? Tony D, are we on mute? Tony! Shout out to Tony D. But anyway, let's see. You guys are funny. But yeah, that's, again, just very, very unpredictable right now. Again, I'm not trying to make huge bets for the, I'm just not going to beat that dead horse. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of them altcoins. Let's see. Yeah. Welcome, Tony. Welcome. Shout out to John. Hey, shout out to John. Thank you for gifting that membership. Let's go. Gifting that one Frankie Candles membership. We appreciate you, bro. And shout out to Peter Post, who received that membership. Let's get it. Shout out to John. John, are you the John I met in the grocery store yesterday? Let me know. Let me know in the chat, bro. Let's see. Okay. Let's go. Tony D is trading. Shout out to Tron. All right. Let's continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, so we took a look at ETH. Let's take a look at Solana and XRP, and then we'll move on. And I'll just freestyle Rob, if you want to grab oh, there we go. Thank you, Rob. I figured we already did this and I missed it. Sorry, Dave. I got to replace the pinned message. Oh my God, Rob, I almost put you in timeout. Replace pinned message. There we go. Don't want to time out Rob. Whole show would fall apart. XRP. Okay, so let's take a quick look at XRP. And again, I'm not really going to spend too much time on this, just because, a lot of this stuff is going to be a slave to what Bitcoin does, right? Bitcoin gets a bigger drop. Altcoins are going to get slaughtered. I'm sorry. It's just likely what's going to happen. If Bitcoin dumps, right? If Bitcoin rips up to 100K out of nowhere and the money flow flips back to the upside, then altcoins will probably pump. Bada boom. Let's take a look. All right. So yeah, this is this all kind of remains pretty much I mean, this fib would move up slightly. Yeah, I mean, like if I were just to pull these levels here, I mean, this is your key level of support. Remain above the value area low, golden pocket, 786. Yeah, remain above this golden pocket, 786. And you could look for this. I would just look for this value area to get respected, right? Lose this 786. That's likely where you will see a move to lower prices. That is kind of the same chart. Let me pull up the larger range down here. There we are, right? So just to, let me hide this. Whoops. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. So larger context here is we came down to the POC of the range, looking for a bounce. As long as it remained above this level, we could have looked for price to go back up to the value area high, which is kind of the journey that we're on right now. But for the local, right, I would simply just look at it in terms of this volume profile, right? We remain above this value area low, 786. Could look for the POC. Value area high sitting at 62 cents, which we all know is that key level that we must break above to get any kind of move to the upside. And really, 68 cents is the big level we got to get above. So yeah, that is that's kind of what I would look at, right? 62 and 68 cents are the most important levels of resistance by far. Mark's a grasshopper. Shout out to Owen. Yeah, so that's kind of what I would look at, right? Like this is the local range. And then if we lose that 786, I would simply focus on the larger volume profile. So you lose that 786, right? Likely you'd probably lose the POC, in which case I'd look down towards the low of the bigger range, sitting between 47 and 45 cents. So yeah, longer term, get back down below this POC, probably on our way to 45 cents. And then until we get that breakdown, this is your key level of resistance at 62 cents. So there you go. Other than that, daily red dot looking to print, probably, in my opinion, I would have to lean a little bit more towards a local. Kind of hard to say here, honestly. Yeah, I mean, maybe something like this. If we get a push up into the value area high, get in something like a 4-hour bearish divergence, could start that move down. But that's what I'd be looking at on XRP. Let's see. Shout out to B-Rad Crypto said, came to smash the like button. B-Rad, long time no see. He was in the premium Discord, or the premium live stream. Let's go. Shout out to Elionics said, take care, Mafia. Thanks, Frankie and Mods, for all you do. Shout out to Elionics. We'll see you next time, brother. Thank you. And Jordan says, smash that like button, guys. 550 likes. I will give away a lock of my hair. I'm just kidding. That's creepy. Anyway, nobody clip that. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on here. Link, please give me hope. Yeah, shout out to Matthew. Yeah, I'll try. It's like I feel like anytime I'm bearish, people are like, this guy's always bearish. I guess they only tune in when we're looking at lower prices. Just to be clear, we are not always bearish. I am anything but a perma bear, right? It's all about context. I always repeat this, right? Like we are not bearish when we were looking for a break of 31K, looking up for 48 to 50K. At that point, people were calling me crazy because I was looking up. They're like, what the heck, man? Like, we're never going to break through this resistance. We keep getting rejected. Don't you know? We're going to go to 0. We're going to 10K or 12K. And then what happens? We flip the level of support, and we get the move to the upside. But when we're up at all-time highs, a lot of people don't want to hear down. And I can understand why someone would think that we're always bearish, right? At least for the past 6 months. If you've come into crypto in the past 6 months here in this range, you would think that we were perma bears, right? Because we're always looking for the lower high and the move down. But I don't know. Anyway, let's continue on here. Simply bearish because we are in bearish market structure. That's how it works. I wish I didn't have to be bearish. 2.5 minutes behind. Tony D, I think you're more than 2.5 minutes behind, brother. I think you're more behind. They said, Frank summons me at me in chat. Shout out to Tony D. We summoned you a long time ago. We're actually concerned about you. So if you hear a helicopter land on your roof, it's just the Mafia coming to check. Shout out to Tony D. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Tony D emoji is back. Do we have a Tony D emoji now? Yo, BTC looking like the classic Cheech and Chong pattern. Dump it. Let's go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Short term on Bitcoin, I assume you are looking for, and then we'll move on to Link. Yeah, short term on Bitcoin, kind of hard to say here. I'll tell you what I'm looking at very honestly. Let me actually, oh yeah, I don't want to pull that up. Let me pull, let's pull up why did all this move to the, all right, let's move. Yeah, I mean, this rejection's not great. We got to get above that 786. That's the level. But I will say, like, short term, this is the key level, right? Like, basically, yeah. I mean, we already came down to, there's kind of two levels here that I'm looking at. Like, very simply put, there were two volume profiles that I was looking at here, right? So with the premium Discord, I was actually looking at between about 57, not even 57.6, between about 57.4 and 57.3 was kind of a level that I was looking at. I'm actually scalp long from there as of right now. But in general, if we get stuck under this key level at 57.8, we start getting stuck underneath here, and we don't hold that value area low at about 57.3, right? Let me pull that one more time so you guys can get a look at it. Right, if we don't hold this level here, I would call it, actually, let me mark it out. Bada boom, bada bing, right? So this golden pocket value area low is kind of a key level, right? Because if we come down and we don't hold this level, right? So if we do continue down, again, and I am long from here, but if we come down here, right, and we don't hold this level for a bounce out of this volume profile, right, and we get stuck under this value area high at 57.8, if we see something like this where we come down here and we get stuck under this level, I would expect the POC at 56.882 and then the value area low 786 between 56.623 and 56.390. So that would kind of be the major levels that I would look at. So we'll see. And, you know, 4 hours, if we're going to get a pump up, and again, if I am in this long, right, I would be looking, I am looking at this long as a, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down and test that level again. But if we did get a push up, I am treating this as a low time frame scalp. As I was talking to the premium Discord, you know, again, this is not long Bitcoin right now. It's too late, right? Like this setup's not there anymore. Again, I wouldn't even be surprised if we come back down. If we get a move up, great, that'd be awesome. If not, you know, then we'll just look down to these lower prices. But if we do get the bounce, I'm going to treat this as a scalp. I'm not looking at this to like moon to 100K. So there you go. But like all in all, like this is the key level, 57.8. Like if we get stuck under that value area high, that's where I would look for lower prices, potentially bringing you down to 56.9 and 56.3 or 56.4, really. So there you go. That's kind of the low time frame. 4 hour green dot. If I'm going to see this scalp play out, that 4 hour green dot's going to be the thing that'll probably start the move. 15-minute money flow, just not confluent here though. I'd like to see that money flow on the 15-minute come back up. So there you go. All right, let's see. Oh, hey, yo, shout out to Miss Teen Crypto in the chat. What is going on? Randy, what is going on? I said Miss Teen Crypto, I'm sorry. I'm used to that. Shout out to Randy. What's going on, Randy? How we feeling? Are you bearish or bullish? Let me know, Randy. Randy, hipper. Let's go. Shout out to Randy. Let us know. How you feeling? How you feeling? You bullish? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Let us know. Shout out to John. Thank you for gifting that membership again. And shout out to Boogerweed for getting that free membership. Let's see. All right, let's continue on and take a look at Link. Bullish. Wait, hang on. I got to wait for that to go. Oh, bullish. Come on. Move it. I'm going to move it up. There we go. Bullish. Always send this ish. Let's go. Shout out to Randy. I hope you're right, Randy. I hope you're right. Send it, baby. Send it. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here and take a look at Link. Let's take a quick look at Link. Actually, I pull up the link chart we have here. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let me see if I can come up with any opium. But again, I gotta be honest here. I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, low key, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like this live stream, low key might be the most fire levels you can get for free. You know, looking for the rejection, and it's not even really anything super advanced, right? Like as we got the move up from our long zone here, or I wouldn't say long zone, but support zone. This should never be looked at as, oh my God, there's a level, short it because Frankie put it on his chart. Never do that. It is not a reliable way to make money. But we got the bounce here from our support zone. Where are we looking for a potential rejection? Right here at the golden pocket retracement. Why is that? Well, simply put, if you're going to put in a lower high or you're going to get some kind of a retracement, it's likely to come in at that 786 golden pocket, right, which gives us this zone. We wound up projecting the golden pocket, right? We're getting the pullback. And there you go, right? Other than that, I'll be honest with you, we could just pull this. I'll just pull this kind of overall range here. I mean, yeah, this is definitely the range I'd be looking at, right? Kind of just lines up with what I typically draw here. So bada boom, make that neutral. And there you go, right? So you have your value area high sitting at about 1143, POC sitting at about 1036, and your value area low sitting at 988. So there you go. I would actually even, I would rather, pull this local profile, local fib, I'm sorry. We got the 886 on there now, too. So shout out to Darren Does Things. Maybe we'll keep the 886 there. I'm going to try out the 886. I'm going to do it. Shout out to Darren Does Things. Darren, do you look at the 886 often? Let me know. It's not something I typically look at, but I wonder, you think I should look at it, bro? You think it's a good fib level? Let me know. But yeah, for me, this would be the support zone. I mean, you got the 886 down there at 953. But yeah, this is, I would just look at this volume profile. You got above the low, flip the value area low to support, POC, value area high was likely next. Where'd the rejection come in? Golden pocket value area high. Where's price likely to go from there? The POC. Low key, guys. Low key. We're going to have to nerf these live streams. Low key. Literally going to have to nerf the live streams. But yeah, if we lose that PLC, very simply put, I'd look down to the golden pocket value area low 786, sitting between 1009 and 972. If we get the move down there, I'd potentially look for longs. 4-hour green dot may give you the move. But yeah, kind of like I'm not really interested in any trades here right now. Like this is just kind of no man's land, right? If we're not at the high or we're not at the low, I'm less interested in trades. I don't really like taking trades in the middle of a range. So there you go. Not really hopium, not really bearish sentiment either. Just kind of like there's your volume profile. I'd be playing this as a range. Key level of support for me would be the 786. Or I'm sorry, not that 786. Let me pull the other one. For me, if we're going to see lower prices and potential break of the lows here to put in a new lower low, I would look for a break of that 786 to potentially invalidate that. If we lose this range low, 786 is next. Once you start losing that 786, I'm actually going to take the 886 off here for a second just to not confuse people. That's not what I wanted. Boom. If you lose this golden pocket, I would look down towards the 786. Once you lose that 786, I would look for a drop lower down to the value area high at 781. But other than that, I would really just be paying attention to this, playing this as a range. Again, I wouldn't be interested in trades here at this point. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Why can I not scroll through chat? Why does that do that to me? Sometimes it stops me from scrolling. I'm just trying to find Tony D. Is Tony D okay? He's like, oh, there he is. Okay, hang on. He said 2.5 minutes guy. Frank summons me. Is he okay? Is Tony all good? Let me know. Did he say hey guys, I'm dealing with an emergency? If Frank needs me, let me know. All right. Just make sure he's good. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, let's take a look at the next altcoin, which is going to be, why is my YouTube, guys, let me refresh YouTube real quick. I don't know why my YouTube's bugging out right now. I can't scroll through chat. I can't see the pinned comment. All right, there we go. Let's take a quick look at AVAX, or AVOX, as some people like to call it. Let's see. Got the classic Aztec and Cactus Moss Water here today. No Super U today. I didn't have time to make it. The eggplant was the last Tony D emoji. I remember. Shout out to shout out to Kate Diggity. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Randy. Yeah, I hope he's okay too. Yeah, he's like, why is everyone asking if I'm okay? Tony, because we haven't seen you, or we were summoning you, but you disappeared. We didn't know where you went. Why is everybody? Shout out to Tony D. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here at Avalanche. Let's see. Oh, bada boom. Okay, so POC test of the previous bear market range. Yeah. I'll give you the key levels. Yeah, I'll give you the key levels here, right? So let me get rid of this real quick. Bada boom. Yeah, I mean, your key level of support is definitely this macro value area high. 2156, like this whole zone here, really between about 22.22 and 21.49 or 21.50, right? We get below this level. That would call for the bigger move down to the POC again, potentially at about 17.25, right? We lose that 17.25 level. This would not be good for AVAX, in my opinion. Start losing the POC. That's where you can expect the much bigger move down. But again, we're pretty far from that as of right now. Until then, I would probably be watching the value area right here, which is basically what I just had on the chart that I deleted. But, you know, I would look POC sitting at 25.78, value area high sitting at 28.44, and the value area low sitting at 24.70. Come on. Bada boom. So, yeah, locally, that's kind of what I would look at. I mean, this is not the best range, in my opinion. It's not the best value area. Kind of front ran the POC there. But, yeah, nevertheless, I mean, maybe even locally you could look at this kind of maybe I'd probably even, like, pull this to current here. Not the best. Yeah, these are, like, a lot of these, like, I don't like this, right? Like, I'm not looking to trade this thing in here. Like, there's, like, no, it's not at a key level. It's just like, ugh. Reclaim this value area low, 24.65-ish. I'd look to go to the POC, potentially the value area high, 28.74. But, like, to be quite honest here, like, this is like just nasty. Like, I wouldn't even be interested in trading this, to be honest. Like, 4-hour green dot, probably the best bet you have it continuing higher. But again, like, nothing really that clear here. Like, 2-hour money flow coming out. Daily red dot is printing. 90-minute money flow is already in the red. Again, 90-minute money flow calling that bigger move down. Yeah, it's just not something I'd be interested in right now. It's hard to call a full direction on this. But yeah, I will say the biggest key levels here is if we lose this macro value area high at 21.50. Lose that, much bigger move to the downside. It's going to be very likely, in my opinion. And then, again, key level to the upside you want to flip is 24.70. Flip that. You can look up to 25.81 and 28.40. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Tony Roaz says Goku Candles needs the Dragon Balls to summon Tony. Shout out to Tony Roaz, not to be confused with Tony D. Let's see. Yo, Tony said I'm 2 minutes behind. Let's see. Nice green dot on the 3-hour. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I would say, like, that's, like, even on AVAX looking for the green dot. I assume you're talking about maybe Bitcoin. Yeah, the next 3-hour green dot is probably the best bet you have to get the local push up. But again, I would treat this as a scalp. If we break off, could we come higher? Sure, right? But again, I am long from that last. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, Frank, John in chat wants your opinion on Gala, and it's making Dave Digital nervous. Better answer before he axes him for spamming. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy. I got you, John. I don't think you're the guy that I talked to in the supermarket yesterday, but if you are, yo, shout out to Dave dropping the ban hammer. Let's go. I'm just kidding. John, you're safe. You're safe. I got you, bro. I got you. I'll take a look at Gala right now. I got you. Shout out to Dave. Dave's been sitting there with a hammer waiting for somebody. I'm just kidding. John, you're all good. I'll take a look at Gala in 2 seconds. Shout out to Crypto Billy saving the day there. Saving John from an imminent, probably realistically like a 15-minute timeout if he was actually spamming. But, all right, let's see. Okay. But yeah, if 3-hour green dot on Bitcoin, right? Like, if I do take this, I'm going to be very careful around a few specific levels, right? I'm going to be very careful around the Golden Pocket 786 retracement where we have this nice little consolidation up here. Like, this is a pretty significant level of resistance, in my opinion, right? So if we do get that push up, I will be looking at it as a local retracement, and I will be taking profits pretty aggressively because look at your money flow, right? 3-hour money flow is coming out, right? Like, what is this indicating to us? This is indicating that if that money flow continues down, like, it's more likely to see that continuation to the downside. So it doesn't mean that you can't get the lackluster pumps up, right? I always say this, even on, like, the higher time frames. This is why I always say, right, like we're able to capitalize on these pushes up and make some money on longs, but if money flow is coming out on the higher time frames, the overall trend is likely to continue down, right? We've just nailed that month over month over month. Every lower high has come in that we've looked for in the exact same spot that we've looked for, right, or the exact level that we've been looking at, right? And I don't say that to brag. I don't say that to say we're the best, right? I just say that because the TA works, right? And why fix it if it's not broken, right? So just in the same kind of manner, if that 2-hour money flow is making us anticipate a cross, or it gives us a crossover into the red, 3-hour money flow starting to cruise out here as well, this would make me anticipate a lackluster pump to put in a lower high and continue to the downside, potentially. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of looking at. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Gala for John. Shout out to John. It's Monday, guys. It's Monday. Let's see. All right, here we are. So Gala, let's take a look here. I mean, you are playing with key resistance here. Larger, higher time frame range. Yeah, oh, God, you're dancing with fire here on Gala, in my own personal opinion. You know, key level to get above is going to be the value area low, sitting at about 17 cents. A decisive reclaim here would be what you need to get a bigger move up. But every time, right, resistance, 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 we pop above. We just can't hold it, right? We're just like kind of playing around here. But that's the level. You got to reclaim this and hold it as support to get the bigger move to the upside. If you do get the bigger move to the upside, next level, in my opinion, will be the POC, sitting at 23 cents, right? We just front ran it, basically. And this is kind of the higher time frame stuff, to be quite honest. Like daily red dot, confirmed. 2-day, red dot, confirmed. Yeah, 3-day red dot. A lot of these altcoins don't look, not that they don't look good, they just don't look like saucy for trades, in my opinion. Like 4-day red dot, 5-day potentially looking for the red dot. I mean, we have an hour to confirm this red dot on the 4-hour. 3-day red dot is printing as well. So, you know, in my opinion, if we could come back down and put in another low here on the monthly naked point of control and start putting in some 3- and 4-day bull divs, like that would be saucier for a long, in my opinion. Other than that, your thought should be that you want to flip this value area low to support to get a move to the POC. Flip that POC, you can look up to the weekly naked point of control, and then flip that weekly naked, you can look up towards the value area high, whereas another, which is also a weekly naked point of control. But again, like it's not that I'm calling for this, right? Like we'd have to see a few things. Yo, shout out to Frankie's new chair. No way. He said Frankie forgot Gala as fast as he forgot his new chair. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. I'll be honest with you guys. I got like a ETH going to 500. Shout out to Fed. I'm not gonna say that the second word on YouTube because I don't know if they like it. But ETH to 500. I mean, I don't know. I'll take a look at the ETH chart in a second. I don't know about 500. If ETH goes to 500, I will sell something. I don't know what I'll sell. But I will say I am itching for like I'm like itching to like make a new set somewhere. Like maybe like just like another set. Like this set's great. I'll always use this set. But I feel like it's time to like refresh the set. Maybe like a little bit more depth. Like maybe some like just like not just a flat background. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It would drop a bag on a new studio. I think we'll do that. I think we're gonna do that. But anyway, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Tony Rod says, Frankie, did you ever dance with the devil under the pale moonlight? One too many times. One too many times, Tony. One too many times. All right, let's see here. Yeah, value area low. Yeah, this is what I'd be looking at. You need to hold this as support, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another drop down. These high time frame red dots don't really look super great, but just like everything else, a 4-hour green dot would be the better chance than any to get a move back to the upside. So that's what I would watch. But again, I'm not interested in a lot of this stuff right now. It's just like kind of like this price action's not really what I'm looking at. Unless you're like micro scalping or like other than that, I would just be waiting for more key levels to get hit. You are the Batman. Shout out to Tony Roaz. But yeah, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Oh yeah, ETH to 500. Let me see if I can make a case for that. I mean, listen, I don't think there's going to be... Yeah, I mean, let's see here. Let's see. I'm going to have to pull up some more macro stuff. This is Bitcoin, so probably want to take a look at Ethereum if we're going to do that. Yeah, I mean, let me just hide everything here. I'll hide everything. I'm going to try to make the case for a $500 Ethereum. Let's see. I don't really see a case for that, to be quite honest. If we had like a global, listen, anything short of a global recession, I don't think we see like massive, like that whole bear market scenario that I talked about in the beginning for Bitcoin. I don't really see that happening without some kind of black swan, right? Like global recession, like something really bad. I just don't see it. 500 for Ethereum's kind of wild, to be honest. Like that's like global recession type scenario, maybe. I don't even know. I don't even think so. I don't know. We're too far away from that for me to call that. Like, I don't know. That's like, I don't know. Whoever said that, who said that? Let me know why you think 500. This is what I always wonder. Like, someone calls for something that far away. It's like, that's just too far to like accurately even predict. Like, without just making it a complete gamble. Like, what is it at 500 that makes you think it'll go there? I'm not saying it can't. I'm not saying it's definitely not going to go there. Shout out to Fed. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Dot. We could take a look at Dot. But yeah, I'm not saying that, I think it's unlikely, but I want to know, like, what is it about 500 that looks like it could happen? Because, like, for me, like, I always have to back it up, right? Like, why do I think that one day, if we do get a Black Swan event, that Bitcoin can go to 30K if the Black Swan event occurred? I'm not even saying it could or definite. But if it did occur, right, like, there's a reason I'm looking at 30K. But yeah, did y'all know Heath Ledger never consulted with Jack Nicholson on how he portrayed the Joker? Shout out to Wig 589. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Come on in here. Mrs. Candles, can you call Tony D? Yeah, just call him and ask him if he's all right. Yeah, hit him up. You don't have to stay. I mean, you can do it here. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Let me see a hand here, Mrs. Candles. Get a hand in here. Come on. It's towards the end of the stream. We got core Mafia members in here. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. That's so funny. As soon as I sniff the hand, the camera overheats, which we all know is a result of Mrs. Candles turning the fan off. That cools the camera. So I'll have to cool off the camera before that comes back on. But I will take a quick look here at Dot, guys. I'll be honest. Dot is one of those coins back down at the bear market lows. Let's see. Yeah, shout out to Bitfrog. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. If Ethereum's at 500, like, yeah, that's like Bitcoin at like 10K or something like that. I just told Mrs. Candles to call Tony D and ask him if he's okay. Oh God, I heard him say, he goes, hello. He goes, oh my God, why is everybody? This is for all the Rick rolls, Tony. This is for all the Rick rolls. We're going to troll this man. I'm going to drop Tony D's phone number in the chat in a minute. I need the whole Mafia to call him. Just kidding. I would never do that. I'm joking, Tony. Don't worry. Don't panic, brother. Just dox Tony's number like that. That'd be crazy. Yeah, she melted the cam. The hands melted the cam. Drop those hand emojis in the chat. But anyway, guys, Polkadot, real quick. I mean, this 786 is absolutely pinnacle, right? Or critical, I should say. We lose that 786. Not what you want to see, right? Like, let me see. Yeah, it's not are my chats not going through? I don't think so, Tony. I mean, I did ban you from the chat. Maybe that's why it's not popping up. Dave Digital, I think, banned you. Yeah, I don't know, Tony. Yeah, no, for sure. Unless I'm blind. Mafia, let him know. Am I crazy? Or is he popped in and said, why is everybody saying I'm behind? And then he just disappeared again. I don't know. Call Tony T for a good time. Yo, shout out to Wick 589. Happy birthday, Rob. Yo, you guys are hilarious. But yeah, taking a look here. I don't know. You lose that 786 again. Key level here. 786. Maybe the 886. Shout out to Darren Does Things. 380. Yeah, 390 down to about 375. Like, you lose this level. I don't know. Like, probably not looking good. Like, the only thing, yeah, I don't know. Polkadot in the dangerous zone here. Like, you want Polkadot to rip here. Like, I don't know. Oh, God, what is this? This is from 20. Yeah, I think that's the, is that all we got on Polkadot? Yeah, oh, God. I mean, Polkadot not doing great here. I own a decent bit of Polkadot, so I'm feeling your pain. luckily, I bought it close to here, so I'm not like super down. But yeah, I don't know. 350 to 360 is yeah, hard to say, guys. I don't know how much lower it can go. I mean, is this the oldest? I think this is the oldest chart we have. I don't think there's another chart. That's the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see how much lower it could go. I think this is the oldest we can go, back to 2020. So yeah, I mean, you're back at all-time lows. I don't know. You don't want to lose this level. That could be bad for Polkadot. Very sketchy. 350. You want to hold 350. Please, for love of God, hold 350. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us till the end of the stream. Can we get the camera back on? Oh, there we are. Let's go. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. Yo, shout out to Crypto Billy. Yo, thank you for the super chat, bro. $100 super chat. Crypto Billy, you're an absolute legend, bro. You did not have to drop that, bro. I appreciate you so much. So to deposit on a camera, bro. Shout out to Crypto Billy. This camera's like brand new. I don't want to say brand new, but it's like one of the highest end like Sony cameras you can get without shooting on a full cinema camera. But it's just I think what we need is like super AC in the studio. I don't know how the studio gets so hot. I don't know if it's my body heat from just being so energetic, or like there's no way that my computer can just spew out enough heat to make it 100 degrees in here. I don't know what it is. I think it might have something to do with like sun coming in. I don't know. But yeah, shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you so much, bro. Maybe we'll get maybe we'll get a better fan. We'll get more fans to blow onto the Frankie Candles camera here. But thank you so much, bro. And with all that being said, 1 day shipping. Should we just like get a red camera? Just spend like $30K on a new camera. I think that'll probably overheat too. You need a new chair. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. Yeah, I'm pinning that. Shout out to Frankie's new chair. But thank you, Crypto Billy. I appreciate that super chat, bro. You're the absolute best, guys. Don't forget to check out tomorrow night. I'll remind you again if I remember. Billy Goat Tales on X at 9 p.m. But yeah. We'll see what happens, guys. Hopefully, we don't have to see that longer-term bear scenario play out. But now you guys have the local levels and what I'm expecting here in the short term, as well as the overall bearish scenario on the higher time frames. There you go. Hopefully we're wrong, but we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every single weekday on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. I love each and every single one of you. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I just couldn't see your chats. I thought I was worried. Are you good? Are you sure? What? Hey, I'm just asking. I don't know, man. Are you? Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right, guys. Tony D is mad. He rickrolls me all the time. We troll him one time, and he said he's quitting. I'm just kidding. Hopefully he doesn't do that. I'm just kidding, guys. There he is. Shout out to Tony D. Shout out to Randy. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the